Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tam Hadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye Om Shant Shant Shanti Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vansharshibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnanghanaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Om Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadi Nagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavatpadabhidham Bibhrate Tasmai Bhakshyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane Om Yasya Nishvasitam Veda Yo Vedebhyo Khilam Jagat Nirmame Tamaham Vande Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram Saishanandasya Mimamsa Bhavati. This is the analysis of Ananda. Happiness is not something which is not known to anyone. Right from a mosquito to the most powerful man, presidents and prime ministers of the nations. From the most ignorant to the highly educated person, from the newborn to the mumurshu, the one who is on the deathbed, everybody has experienced sukham, joy. Though the whole life is spent only in wanting to have joy, very few can claim that they have done the mimamsa, the analysis, vicharana, inquiry into what happiness is. This is because most of us, all of us, this is a common rule, that whatever becomes known now no longer is considered to be something that should be inquired into. something which is unattained, something which is still unknown, is something about which a doubt exists. We can have some analysis, some inquiry into it. And we are so confident about what Sukham is. Somebody says that by getting money, I will be Sukhi, I will become happy. Someone says by getting some pleasures and appeasing the senses, appeasing the ego, one will be happy. Someone says that going to the heaven, I will be happy. And therefore, there are 1,000 versions, and each one of them is so confident about it. Therefore, nobody seems to bother even about making an inquiry into what is the nature of this happiness that one is hankering for. One spends the entire life with this single motive. Honestly speaking, whether it is a rich man or a poor, educated, uneducated, man or a woman, everyone, infant or a grown up, an adult, everybody is singularly chasing Sukham in life. And yet nobody has time even to make an inquiry as what exactly this Sukham is. Because nobody has a doubt. People are so confident about it. The one who says that appeasement of senses is Sukham is so confident. The one who says that it is appeasement of the ego is so confident. There is no doubt about it. But the Upanishad says, Saisha Anandasya Mimamsa. This is the Mimamsa. There is a space where a doubt doubt exists, and that is that is this Sukham sadhana sapeksha or nirapeksha, which means is this joy dependent upon any other factor, or is totally independent and is the nature of the self. Therefore, now with this platform, with this ground, there is a doubt, and hence inquiry is made. Saisha Anandasya Mimamsa Bhavati. Now the Upanishad takes you through a course which is very beautiful. The word Upanishad in Sanskrit is feminine gender, by the way. The Upanishad says that if happiness can be quantified, let us quantify it. Because you are going to say, I am happy at this moment, but I want to be more happy, which means there is some form of quantification which you already have conceptualized. I want more. That means there is some sort of measure. One has already measured. This is happiness, but I can be still more happy. I will be happy with a cup of coffee, but I will be more happy if there is a cookie with it. And I will be even more happy if somebody gives me this coffee every day, without me asking. If it lands on my table, I will be more happy. So everybody is saying that there is some way in which there can be some increase, and that increase means it is volumed, it is measured. Some standard is set for its measure. So if it can be measured, we are going to say what is the ultimate quantity, the uppermost limit, the threshold of happiness that a human being can ever experience. Because as a human being, that is what is wanted, and that is called as Manusha Ananda. It is called as the Sukham of a human being. This is what a human being can experience at the most. This is the uppermost limit. Yuva syad yuvadhya, yuva syad sadhu yuvadhyayakaha, ashishto dradishto balishtaha, tasyeyam prithvi sarva vittasya purna syad, saeko manushanandaha. This is manushananda. Yuva syad purvavayaska. The person should be in his prime of youth. So he is not going to say, I am tired. He is ever ready. I am ever ready. You are. So that he is bubbling with energy. Yuva syat sadhu yuvadhyayakaha. So also he is sadhu. Sadhu means the one in whose life there is the life follows the course of righteous living. He doesn't have to resort to negative practices to be happy. Sadhu. So he is sadhu. And therefore, yuvadhyayakaha. So also he is, you are this young man, young person, man or woman, whatever, let us say man now, this Yuvadhyayaka, and he has studied the Veda. So now he has a philosophy to live by. He is not directionless. He is not like a rudderless ship in the vast ocean. He has a direction. He knows where he is leading his life. He is not a confused youth. Okay, Yuvadhyayakaha, Ashishtaha, and his life is full of optimism. There is no scope of anything that depresses him. Optimism, Ashishtaha, Dridhishtaha, and he is, Dridhishta means strong-willed. Dridhishtaha, Balishtaha, that Dridhatvam is the adjective for his mind. Dridhe for him, but it defines the state of his mind. Dridhishtaha, dridha, firm, well-rooted. Okay, balishtaha, and his muscles are strong. Balishtaha. For such a person, he looks around, and what does he find? Tasyeyam prithvi sarva vittasya purna syat. He finds the whole earth full of opportunities. The earth, this whole life is ready to give him vittam. Vittam means wealth. There is abundance of wealth that he finds everywhere. All that he has to do is just knock the door and take it. Open the door, unlock it and take it. So for him, the whole life is full of opportunities. His life is not, he does not see the life as something depressing, gone, lost. I won't be able to do it. This is not possible. So these are not his words. Ashishtaha, Dridhishtaha, Balishtaha, tasya iyam prithvi sarva vittasya purna syat. When a person lives life with these qualities, the joy that is there for such a person is one unit of what is called as manusha ananda. Now one can apply these standards to his own happiness and find out that first condition you are, even if that is kept on one side, sadhu sadhu syad yuadhyayakaha ashishtaha dradhishtaha balishtaha tasyayam prithvi sarva vittasya purna syad. If such is the person, then that he is experiencing what can be experienced as a human being. Depressed, lost, confused, not, but opportunities have gone, the time has already passed, and all that is there is only regrets of the past with him. No, Seiko Manushananta. Now, if one can multiply this happiness by 100 times, it will be the happiness of what is called as the first level of the celestial world of the man. Teye shatam manushanandaha saika manushya gandharvanam anandaha is the ananda of manushya gandharvas. These gandharvas are the celestial singers. Okay, and they have many more powers, abilities than just a common human being. But they are Manusha Gandharvas, Manusha Gandharvas. What do they have? Hey, even Antardhana, etc. They can vanish, they can disappear, etc. So these are yours. They have these abilities just as you have the ability to walk and talk and to sit and write, etc. There is this one possibility just of getting vanished from the scene. Nobody is able to see that such powers. This is one example, and there are several such. So this is what is available to those people who are Manushya Gandharvas. Manushya Gandharvas. And so their mind remains more clear, and therefore there is the expression of the happiness in such a heart is even more profound. So Manushya Gandharvas. Now, if 100 times more than just what can be experienced by a perfect human being, then the Upanishad says, multiply this Manushya Gandharva Ananda by 100 more times. Now this Manushya Gandharva Ananda, Manushya Ananda is one thing, but that what is 100 times more than what a perfect human being can experience is already attained by the Shrotriyasya Akamahatasya. This Sukham belongs to whom? To the Shrotriya Akamahata. Yesterday we introduced this word, Vidyaranya Swami introduced this word to us, Akamahata, one who is not knocked down, struck by any desires. Because desire basically is a declaration of one's dissatisfaction. Admit it or don't admit it, accept it or don't accept it. Facts don't wait for anybody's admission and acceptance. Facts are just facts. If you understand it, one understands. Shrotriyasya akamahatasya. Who is akamahata? One who is not struck by any desire. Akamahata. And another thing is he is Shrotriya. Shrotriya means by that virtue of having studied the Vedas, now he already knows Atma is Brahman. So how is he? Shrotriya Brahmanishtha. And because there is no desires, etc., he is this Ananda, which is available not to any human being, even most perfect human being, but it multiplies 100 more times. And that Ananda is available, that Sukham is available to this Shrotriya Mahap. So we can call him a Jivan Mukta at this point, to this Jivan Mukta. Really? Then, so why wait at that point? Go further. If this Manushya Gandharva Ananda can be multiplied by 100 more times, that Ananda, that kind of Ananda is experienced by still higher form of a celestial life, which is called as Deva Gandharvas. They are called as Deva Gandharvas. Then Te ye shatam manushya gandharvanam sa eko deva gandharvanam shrotriyasya chaka mahatasya. Now that what becomes 100 times more, which is so, it is not even in the range of experience for Manushya Gandharvas with all these great Siddhis, etc. It is experienced by Deva Gandharvas because it is 100 times more. And then even that Ananda is available to the Jivan Mukta. Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. It is available to him. Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. Te ye shadam deva gandharvanam ananda sa ekah pitrunam chiraloka lokanam anandaha. Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. Now, with more powers and the happiness being more powers, abilities, and that is available to this Chitta Prasada, which is there with the Deva Gandharvas, more than that, 100 times more is experienced by the Pitriloka Vasi. Those who a level more than this Deva Gandharvas too. Manushya Gandharvas, Deva Gandharvas, and now this Pitrulokavasi, Chiraloka, and for them, it is long, long time. Okay, the length of that time is even unimaginable by us. We can only just think about the number of zeros that can be put behind a digit. Te ye shatam deva gandharvanam anandaha sa ekah pitranam chiraloka lokanam anandaha. And then that is also, that sukham is available to this Jivan Mukta. Te ye shatam pitranam chiraloka lokanam anandaha sa eka ajanajanam devanam anandaha. Now, even higher than this Pitruloka is the world of Ajana Devas. Now, when we would study, or by God's grace, if we get to study this Taittiriya Upanishad sometime, we will see that time, but you can remember it. There is one form of the Devatas called as Ajana Deva. The sukham that is available to the Pitrus means means. Now, if that when that is multiplied by 100 more times, becomes 1 unit of happiness, for the Ajana Devas. And this happiness is also available to the Jivan Mukta. Shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya. To this Jivan Mukta. Then te ye shatam ajanajanam devanam anandaha saeka karma devanam anandaha. Comes another category of the devatas called as the karma devas. What are karma devas, etc.? What are the ajana devas? Studied there. Karma devanam anandaha. That is available to the karma devas. That is one unit of the happiness of the karma devas. What if the happiness of the ajana devas can be multiplied 100 by 100 is one unit of happiness of the karma devas, and that ananda is also there. This is the joy of, it is available to the shrotriya brahmanishtha. Shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya, to this Jivan Mukta Mahapurusha. Okay. Te ye shatam karma devanam anandaha saiko devanam. Now comes the devatas. This is, if that karma devas ananda can be, joy can be multiplied by 100 times, it is one unit of happiness belonging to the devas. Okay, now you have arrived in heaven, and this is devatas. So those people who are over here saying that we don't want to go to heaven, etc., who is going to take you any which ways? Is one even qualified? Has one lived a life of dharma? Has one lived that pious life, gathering that much punya to go to heaven? Without getting, only without adhikar, they have this display of such vairagya. We don't want. Who's giving anyways? You are not even qualified for one unit of that manushya ananda. Crying here and there, fuming, fretting all the time, complaining, and just creating misery around for yourself, for everyone. And this fellow says, I don't want to go. Who cares? I mean, such people, why would we even bother to even talk to them, convince them or anything? Te ye sharam karma devanam anandaha saiko anandaha shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya. Even that ananda which is available to the devas of the heaven is already available to the Jivan Mukta. Te ye sharam devanam sekai indrasya. Now, this Indra is the leader, the king, the head of the devatas. He sits on the throne up there. So that ananda of the devas, if it can be multiplied by 100, becomes one unit of happiness for this Indra. Now, Indra's happiness is also available to this Jivan Mukta. Right here. So, is available to this Shrotriya Brahmanishtha. Now, you please tell, can this Mahapurusha ever be allured? Can he be even allured for the small things, where even the heaven also looks small to him before what he already has? When you already have $1,000 with you, now if I say I will give you 1 penny, can this person be allured by that 1 penny? Can he give up his $1,000 and chase your 1 penny? Why would he? He says that 1 penny is already available to me. I can give you 10 like that. Therefore, he is not available for people just as we can easily be allured, snared. He is not. And those who still feel, then they have to just do a little introspection. And so therefore, Shrotriyasya chaka mahatasya te yeshadam, where is it? Te yeshadam indriyasya seka brahaspateranandaha. Indrasya guruhu Brahaspati. The guru of Indra, Acharya, is Brahaspati. Indra, happiness of Indra multiplied by 100 times is 1 unit of happiness of this Brahaspati. Even that Ananda is also available to the Jivan Mukta. If Brahaspati's happiness can be multiplied by 100 times, it is the happiness of Hiranyagarbha, Prajapati, of the totality, total subtle body. The total subtle body, how much happiness can it contain, is also available to this Jivan Mukta. Now, where would you allure him for what? For a small banana? Te yeshatam brahaspateranandaha sekaf prajapateranandaha shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. This Jivan Mukta Mahapurusha already has it. Te yeshatam. Now, even if there can be this happiness of the total subtle body, happiness that can be contained in the total subtle body, totality of the subtle body, if that can also be multiplied by 100 times, that is 1 unit, one small little unit of the Ananda of Brahma. That is just one small leshamatra, just as a drop in the ocean. And that happiness, whose one drop becomes, is sufficient enough to satisfy the entire world of past, present, and future. That happiness is just a small little fragment, small little drop of the happiness of the Jiva Mukta. Shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya. And therefore we are saying that अतएव सार्वभौमोपक्रमेषु हिरण्यगर्भपर्यन्तेषु उत्तरोत्तर शतगुणेषु आनन्देषु श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामतस्य इति श्रुतम्. It is known. It is known. We have it. The Shruti says so that it is available to the Jivan Mukta, and therefore, when we said Sarva Kama Vapti, attainment of all desires is in 3 forms: Sarva Sakshitvam, Sarvatra Akamaha Tattvam, and Sarva Bhoktrutvam. So Sarva Bhoktrutvam is already there. Whatever can be experienced as human beings is already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by the Manushya Gandharvas is already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by the Deva Gandharvas is already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by the Pitra is also already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by the Ajana Devas is already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by the Karma Devas is already experienced by him. Whatever can be even experienced by the Devas is already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by Indra is already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by Brahaspati is already experienced by him. Whatever can be experienced by Hiranyagarbha is already experienced by him. And whatever that is just a small fragment, insignificant fragment of his joy that he is. And therefore, Sarva Bhoktritvam is there. So now when we said Sukhavir Bhavas Tredhaha, the Sukhavir Bhava is the expression of joy, is it can be said of in three ways, has three aspects. Sarva Kamavapti, attainment of all desires. Kritakrityatvam, the feeling of fulfillment, of having done whatever needs to be done. And then prapta praptavyam, having attained whatever has to be attained. Okay, sarva kama vapti kritakrityatvam prapta praptavyam. Out of these three expressions, we chose the first one to be explained, which is sarva kama vapti. That sarva kama vapti has got three further expressions: sarva sakshitva, sarva kama tattva, and sarva bhoktritva. And we have shown it to you through the Upanishad. Okay, iti abhipretya shruyate. Iti abhipretya shruyate. Ahamannam, 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 ahamannado, ahamannado, ahamannadaha. The Shruti further goes to say that how does he express? His expression is of vismaya, of what do they call? Of wonderment. This is what I am. This is what I am. Dhanyoham, dhanyoham. This is what I am. Ahamannam, 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 ahamannado, ahamannado, ahamannadaha. Anna is food. Food means that can be consumed, what can be experienced. And Annada is the one who consumes the food, enjoys the food. So I am both the food, the eater, everything. And so I am this non-dual Brahman. In me, there is no dearth of anything. My sukham cannot be even compared, quantified, thought about, imagined, and that is what I am. What does he need? Approval of the people, popularity amongst the people, Indriya Tarpanam, appeasement of the senses, appeasement of ego. What is required, you tell. And therefore, akamahatasya, shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. The second expression of joy is kritakrityatvam. Now we have seen the first one, sarva kama vaptihi. We are going to see, he gives, and it is very small. We perhaps should be able to complete this chapter itself today, within 2 days. Today is what, Saturday? Okay, then we will be able to complete it, in the first 2 days of our next week. Kritakrityatvam cha smaryate. Kritakrityatvam means kritam. Kritam, krityam, krityam, kritam. Krityam means that should be done, that which is worthy of doing, that needs to be done. All this is implied by the word krityam. Krityam also, the other word for it will be kartavyam. That needs to be done, that should be done, that ought to be done. Kritakrityatvam, and it is done. So smaryate, that is, it is in one of the smritis. What does it say? Jnanamritena truptasya kritakrityasya yoginaha naivasti kinchit kartavyam. From which smriti is this one? And he says it is just smaryate. Actually, this book says it is Jabalopanishad. So it cannot be then Smaryate, Shruyate, it should be. But any which ways, so it must be also from, so the author has, though it occurs in Jabalopanishad, he must have seen it and quoted it as a Smriti somewhere. Okay. Jnanamruteena truptasya कृतकृत्यस्य योगिनः नैवास्ति किंचित् कर्तव्यम् अस्ति चेन्न तत्त्ववित्. Jnanamrutena truptasya, the one who is satisfied. Tripta. Tripta means content. Like when you have had sumptuous food, not to the point of, puking it out, but one has consumed food to the heart's content. Okay, to the heart's content. So he is content now. That person is content. Santushtaha, triptaha. But with what? With some bhogas? No. Jnanamritena, one who has found his contentment, satisfaction, fulfillment through the nectar of knowledge. Jnana amritena triptasya. What knowledge? Atma is Brahman. So, in that Atma is Brahman is not I am Prime Minister like that. To understand the meaning of Atma, to understand the meaning of Aham, to understand what is the meaning of Brahma, and to discover that this Atma is Brahman, just that knowledge itself has satisfied this person. And because of that satisfaction, what does he discover? What does he discover? Kritakrityasya yoginaha, this yogi, Mahapurusha, this Jivan Mukta, Samadhi Nishtha, he is Jnani and Samadhi Nishtha. Just being Samadhi Nishtha yogi does not make that thing. Jnanam is there. That's why Jnanamrutena truptasya yoginaha. Both the things have to be there together. That makes the Jivan Mukti. Kritakrityasya yoginaha. Okay. Naivasti kinchit kartavyam. He finds that there is nothing more that needs to be done. There is nothing more that needs to be done for him to be happy. Because he is already that. Now it is only expression of happiness. Whatever comes out is, some days ago, days in the sense many years ago, this is what I heard from our earlier batchmates. So they had gone to this famous Krishna temple in Mumbai, all these brahmacharis who were studying there at Powai. And one of our earlier senior fellows, they had gone over there. It's a very beautiful temple. And so the people over there are all, it is a a sect of devotion, a Krishna devotion. Nice. One should be there. That is fine. And if one wants to do that, one should go ahead. So they are devotees of Krishna. But the problem is that now they want everybody like converting it to their faith and to their sect. So when these people also went over there, they obviously said that here are our new, scapegoats. Get them in. Let us convert. So they called and they said that we are actually devotees of Krishna. Do you believe in Krishna? Obviously, what is there not to believe? Because Bhagavad Gita is what we are living by day and night. So he says, of course, we are also devotees of Krishna. Oh no, we are real devotees because you see, we sing and dance like Sri Krishna used to sing and dance. You people will sit over there and discuss what is Atma, what is not Atma. This is not what Krishna did. Krishna used to play flute and dance and eat and have joy. And that is what we are doing. We are celebrating all the time. We are singing, we are dancing. There is music, there is food. Look at that whole thing. It looks like a party going on all the time. Sattvic party. And then all such things. Well, this fellow then said that there is a difference between you and Krishna. What is that? Shri Krishna danced and sang and played the flute and music out of happiness, and you are doing it for happiness. You are doing it out, declaring your incompleteness, and Shri Krishna's whatever it was expression of his completeness. So Kritakrityatvam, nothing more needs to be done over there. Yes, Atmaratireva Syat. Now Sakshat Shri Krishna itself is quoted over here as Bhagavad Gita, as the Smriti. Yes, Atmaratireva Syat Atmatriptascha Manavaha Atmanyeva Santushtas Tasya Karyam Na Vidyate. Yes, to Atmaratihi, the one who revels in the self. Atmarati, Rati, you know, Rati is the consort of Kamadeva. That Rati, revel. What has she got to do? But this is not a noun here. Rati then becomes a verb. Rata, like in Bharata also, the same thing. Yasvatmaratireva syad atmatriptascha manavaha. And one who has discovered, that person who has discovered fulfillment in the self. Not fulfillment if I get a car, if I get a job, if I get this girl to marry, if I have children, if I have more money, if I become the prime minister. No such kind of thing. Atma triptaha. His tripti is not in anatma padartha. Where is the tripti? In atma. Atma triptascha manavaha. Such a human being, then what? Atmanieva santushtaha. Tasya karyam na vidyate. For him there is no karyam, there is no kartavyam. So kritakrityatvam is there for such a person, and this is one expression of happiness. Then because as long as there is this, something needs to be done, something still needs to be changed, and something still needs to be modified, fixed. There's some kartavyam left. Oh, I have done everything. Now I have to only look after my grandchildren, Some kartavyam is there. Oh, but then, we should always be taking care of our children. And even if they are now grown up and they have their own grandchildren, we still need to, advise them. Some kartavyam people keep imagining. And it is only an escape because they don't want to really apply themselves to this ever. And that's why it is said, it is only by the grace of Ishvara. Ishvaranugraha deva pumsam advaita vasana. It is only by grace of Ishvara that one will be inclined towards knowing the non-dual self, the non-duality of the self. Pumsam advaita vasana. Till then, the person is interested in falsehood, in the duality itself. Hey, that's why, bhakti, upasana in our life, in the earlier lives only can bring us to this point. And this is the shloka, this is said by Bhagavan Dattatreya. Ishvara anugraha deva pumsam advaita vasana. Advaita vasana comes only by Ishvaranugraha. Okay, then Prapta Praptavyata. What is the third expression of that Sukhavir Bhava? Prapta Praptavyata. Prapta prapya praptavyatapi shruyate. This is also from shruyate, from the shruti, from the Veda only shows this. Prapta praptavyata. Abhayam vai janaka praptosi. Praptosti. Praptosi hona chahiye. What is there? What have I written here? Whole thing is full of mistakes. Then Praptosi only. Vradaranya Shruti. Tasmat tat sarvam abhavat brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati tija. That what is to be attained is already attained. Abhayam vai praptosi. One wants this freedom from insecurity, from fear. And here Janaka, his teacher, says, you have already attained it. In knowing this, it is already attained. Tasmat tat sarvam abhavat. These are the Shrutis we need to, discuss them more, but they have not been discussed because we are towards the end of this chapter. Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman is Brahman. He who knows Brahman is Brahman. He does not remain as the knower. He is Brahma. Brahmaiva Bhavati. So it is attained. Nanu etau dvau dukkha vinasha sukhavir bhavau tatvajnane naiva siddhatva. Now there is a doubt that is raised. But because that doubt means that we are entering into a further discussion on this. So now, which are the last two prayojanas? Dukkha nivritti, dukkha nasha, and sukhavir bhava. Okay. Out of these pancha prayojanas, these are the last two, and we have seen them completely. That dukkha nasha, ahika dukkhasya, amushmika dukkhasya api nashaha tatvajnanena bhavati, jivan muktasya asti. Then sukhavir bhava is of three kinds, and out of which sarva kama vapti has got these three expressions which we have seen, and so we have dealt with this completely. Not yet. Who says that? Purva Paksha. The opponent who is raising a question, he says, not yet, sir. There is something that you still need to answer about this. What is that question and what is the answer to it? Let us see that when we meet next. Om Purnamadaha Om Yasya Nishvasitam Veda Yo Vedebhyo Khilan Jagat Nirmametamaham Vande Vidyatirthamaheshwaram Vidyatirthamaheshwaram Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaha Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Thank you all.